Hi, Justin Popovich here from Best Quality PLR. In this presentation, I'd like to talk about getting creative with PLR, private label rights content, and how to repurpose it. Now, when I say repurposing, I mean in general, when you take a piece of content and you work it into different formats so that it's consumable in different mediums. So as a very classic example, you take a PDF ebook and you record it into an audio. You go from an ebook to an audiobook. That is basically repurposing. And I should mention before I go any further as well that this is a presentation geared towards PLR, but really this is content repurposing in general. So even if you're not specifically using PLR right now, I think you'll get some value out of what I'm going to share with you here, just as a way to creatively think about how to take content you have right now and mix it up to distribute it and give it to your customers or consumers into new formats that maybe they haven't experienced yet, or just something a little bit more tuned to their tastes and their learning styles. So let's go through a sort of a common customization from a PLR perspective. Now on the screen here I have an image. I just took a screenshot of a PLR ebook from our catalog. This one's called Resolution Revolution. And it's a fairly lengthy ebook about setting your New Year's resolutions and planning for the new year, things of that nature. And as is, it's a great little ebook. You can read through it and get some inspiration and ideas so that you have a better chance of success for achieving your resolutions this year. And that's one form of consumption of that content. Now, as the owner of this PLR ebook, you could customize this and distribute it to your audience in a variety of ways. So I've just put a bunch of checkpoints here with some common examples. So these are things that we see a lot of our customers doing. I've done a lot of these different repurposings with my own content. So something like taking an ebook and putting it into a training presentation. You go from PDF to PowerPoint or slide deck or whatever. Same thing as I mentioned earlier, PDF to audiobook. You narrate chapters and now you have an audiobook with chapters. Or something a lot of people like to do, the third point here, take the ebook, extract the main points, and do what I'm doing here. Put a bunch of slides together where you have just sort of the key ideas from each chapter with a couple of bullet points and turn it into a video training where it's somebody speaking over top of a slide deck, or it could be somebody speaking in person and recording themselves speaking maybe with a whiteboard behind them. That type of video training. It can all start with the repurposing of an ebook, and then the end result is something much more fancy, video format. Another thing is breaking that ebook down. Now that's like a 70-page ebook, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what it is. So that could be 10 mini reports, 7 mini reports, 10 pages each, or 10 mini reports, 7 pages each. And it kind of you can break the content up by chapter, but just have it as little reports. That's just another kind of a unique way of distributing that content. Or if you have a membership site and your membership site deals with change, with setting goals, or maybe it's within a specific niche, like if the financial niche, maybe you need to set your financial goals for saving, for investing, for budgeting. You could put the content, the teachables from that ebook into specific posts inside your membership area. And in the case of a 70-page ebook, that could be, who knows, a couple dozen posts in your members area, a whole bunch of new updates for your members to go through. Or how about just classic example, take this ebook and turn it into a bonus on a launch of a different product that you've already been working on. Or if you're promoting somebody else's product, maybe it deals, in this case, with goal setting or New Year's resolutions, throw in your 70-page book on this kind of topic as well. That is basically some general repurposing ideas to get you thinking. Now what I want to do is get a little bit more creative, and this is really the heart of the presentation here, because those are some things that you've probably already considered. I haven't really disclosed any mind-boggling information to you here. It probably makes a lot of sense to do what I've just said, but I think it was worth sharing for those of you that haven't done it yet. Now here is my creative customization. Let's say you have a PLR workbook. Now on the screen right now, from the same product as the previous screenshot, which was an ebook in the Resolution Revolution PLR package, we have a workbook. Now this workbook is basically a 44-page or so guide with a bunch of blank templates that allow the student, the end consumer of this New Year's resolution package, to get inspired, read about New Year's resolutions, and then they print out this workbook and they write out their goals, their overall vision for their life, and then they break that into what are their resolutions or their goals for this year. And now that you know what you want to do this year, let's think about your monthly plan. So what are you going to do in January? What are you going to do in February? And so on. Once you have that, then you take what you want to do in the month and break it into a weekly plan, followed by daily plans, to the point where you're tracking your activities day by day, mapping that to what you're going to do for the week, mapping that what you're going to do for the month, right back up to your New Year's resolutions. Very powerful workbook. I mean, if you were to actually do this, if you were to print out all these pages and do it daily, you will definitely have an advantage over people who just kind of set their resolutions in their mind and maybe tell a couple of people and then off they go and they forget about it within a week or two. So that workbook is good value on its own. But for you, let's say you own this as the PLR owner, or maybe you created something similar. Maybe you already have workbooks that you give your students in sort of a doc format or PDF format and you tell them to print it out. What if you did something like this from a customization or repurposing perspective? Take all of that material and publish it into an app like Evernote. And if you haven't seen Evernote, I'm going to give you a demo of it in a second. But Evernote is a great little application that you can install on your desktop, on your laptop, on your iPhone or mobile device. You can access Evernote through a browser if you're at somebody else's house and you're using their computer, whatever. Any device really can have Evernote on it. And with Evernote, instead of using a PDF, you could repurpose this content into a series of Evernote files in the same structure. But when that person, that consumer of your content, is setting their goals for the year, they could be updating an Evernote file. When they're setting their goals for the week, or they're writing down their actions day by day, instead of having to lug out that PDF or the Word doc, they can go over to Evernote very easily, especially if they're using it on their phone, type in what they just did, and that can be immediately mapped back to their overall plan for the month. And so this is a repurposing customization that you may have not seen before, and I wanted to share it with you. But what I'd like to do now is actually flip over and give you a demo of how this actually runs, because this is an upgrade we've actually built into our PLR product. So we have a main offer called Resolution Revolution, where we give away this ebook, or we include the ebook slash PDF format of this workbook on the left side. And then for those people that want to upgrade, we actually have done all of this work to repurpose it into Evernote for them. But again, you could do this yourself as well. So let me show you exactly what I mean here. So on my screen right now, I have the PDF version of the success map, or this planning system to help people achieve their New Year's resolutions. And if I just show you kind of the right side of my page, if I scroll down, it's fairly lengthy. It goes 45 pages long. There's an intro page here that explains the system and how to use it. So if you are the owner of this as your own product that you're selling to your customers, it's nice to have this little intro to tell them how to use it. And then as they scroll through the document, you can see, I'll zoom out a little, you can see it better here. The first page is a purpose, vision, legacy statement. So this is where your student would sit down and think about what is my major purpose here? What am I doing with my life? What's my vision? And then based on that vision, on this first page, go over to the next page, page 3, and start typing out your yearly goals. Or if you're printing this out on paper, write it down. What are your financial goals this year? What are your health goals? What are your relationship goals? Finance, business, all of these different things. And we get the people to think about that. And then once they have their yearly goals, they scroll further down. They pick their monthly goals. So you would print this entire document out once in January. You would do it again in February and so on. So what are your goals for this month? Let's think about what's a realistic set of things we can achieve this month to make sure we're on track for those resolutions we just set. That breaks down to daily, and then you can see here, weekly, and then daily, and there's 7 days per week, so 7 blank templates before they move to the next week. Nice little system here, but it's limited in the sense that they either print this out on a piece of paper, or if you distribute, as the owner of this, if you distribute to your clients the Word doc version, then they can print the Word doc, save the Word doc to their hard drive, and they have to open up that doc every day. Now I want to show you how I've repurposed this into Evernote. So I go over to Evernote here. You can see that I have a notebook in my Evernote account called June 2014 Success Map. So I just built a random test one here. And you can see the exact same structure follows as that PDF. The top note is purpose, vision, legacy. The next note down in sequence, and I've done this deliberately, I time-stamped each note so it flows top to bottom this way. It's just a little thing you'd have to do in Evernote to make it lay out nicely like this. So purpose, vision, legacy, first note. Next note down is your yearly goals. Next one down is your monthly goals and vision. Week 1 goals and vision. And then week 1 daily goals. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And every single day, instead of having to open up that doc, your student, your customer, could simply go to their Evernote app and type in what they did. So it's day 4. What do I need to do today to make sure I don't fall behind on my weekly goals? What do I need? What are the things I need to accomplish by 5 p.m. as an example? And then write them down in order of priority and then get busy. And then this is something they can just quickly go into and then get on with their day. The cool part is that if they have Evernote running on their computer, that's fine. But if they're not at their computer and they're on a device, they could also update their note there as well. So what I want to do right now is actually flip over to my live camera and show you Evernote running on my iPhone.
All right, so I had to take off my headset to to show this to you. I didn't want to look so dorky, so the audio quality would be a little different this stage of the video. Here is my iPhone. I don't know how well this is going to come through. There's my iPhone with the Evernote app, and the Evernote that I just showed you on my desktop or on my laptop where I'm doing this demo video is connected to the cloud. So if I'm on my device, I see the exact same set of notes saved in real time as I would have seen on my laptop, or if I went in through a browser on someone else's computer. And here is, I'll try to show it to you. Here is my June 2014 success map, and then it brings up all of those notes. So I'll stop showing it to you for a second here. I'm just going to go in and pick week 1, day 4, since that's the demo I was showing you earlier. And week 1, day 4, you click on that, and it will actually open up the specific note in my iPhone. So it's opening it up, and then the note is there live, just like I would have seen it on my computer. And then there's these little sections in the template that we've included in this PLR where we fill in, it says here, what do you absolutely need to get done today in order to make today a successful day and not fall behind on my weekly, monthly, and yearly goals. So if I'm really busy, as an example, I don't necessarily want to type this out on an iPhone. That's not really all that convenient. So with the Evernote app, I can click in here. I'm just going to literally click in where it allows me to type for that answer. And there's a little voice memo feature in Evernote that you can leave. So I'm going to click the voice memo. You'll have to take my word for it here, but you'll actually be able to hear it. This is a test voice memo that I'm doing live on camera. I'm so nervous. Here we go. So, okay, so I did a little voice memo. It saved it there. So now what I want to do, I want to get off camera because I wanted to actually show this to you. And I'll go back over to Evernote live on my laptop, and you'll see this get synced up right away because, again, it's saving it to the cloud.
All right, so I'm back in Evernote here with the headset and hopefully better quality audio. And I went back to week 1, day 4, where I'm tracking my specific actions for today. And you can see I actually did a little resync in my Evernote app, but that little audio message I left myself is in here now. So if I do a quick look and play it.
This is a test voice memo that I'm doing live on camera. I'm so nervous. Here we go.
Okay, and that's really cool because now things are getting synced up. And I just want you to think about this type of repurposing. This is something that I haven't really seen before. And when I looked at the whole idea of going from a PDF to something way more applicable to our busy lives, all of us, the way we operate right now, we're way more likely to quickly fire up our iPhone and take a note in there on the Evernote app than we are to remember to go to our Word doc that our coach or somebody gave us to keep on track of our New Year's resolutions. Both have value and both will get results. One is more likely to produce a better result, and that's the Evernote one. So this repurposing can have some major impact on your clients. So again, think about this for any content you own, whether it's PLR or otherwise. Doing something like this, taking an existing piece of content and delivering in a way that maybe your clients have never thought of before, will help your content stretch that much further, and ideally be something that your clients use on a more frequent basis so that they come back to you for more. Hey, what else can you give me here? The stuff you're giving me is really working. So I hope this whole concept here of repurposing in unique creative ways gets you thinking, gives you some new ideas to try out for yourself. And this was all part of the Resolution Revolution PLR product from my team at Best Quality PLR. So that's just an example of something we've done. We actually included the PDF on the main offer, and then for the upgrade, we did all this Evernote planning for our customers. So you could do the same. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you soon.